So now we are looking at symbols of some commonly used component in electrical circuit. So the reason for that is quite simple. This is an actual circuit. So I have a battery, a switch, a bulb, and so on and so forth. See, it's not practical for me to start drawing around this way, and this is something like this, right? To put it on a paper, we can't click photos and put it. We can't draw it. It's not practical. See, if okay, that's not a, I have to draw it in this way, something like that. Is it not? So it's not practical for me to keep doing this, right? So this does not make sense, first thing. Second thing, it's not practical to draw. This is a small circuit and this extension and all of that. So drawing this does not make sense. So pictorial representation of circuit diagrams, we need a replacement for that because this is not practical. So the replacement is symbolic representation of the same. So we have here a cell, right? An electrical cell. Next is a battery. So the difference between a cell and a battery is a cell is a single unit while a battery is more than one unit being connected, right? This is a representation of a switch being closed, matlab off, not close, actually open, that is off. When you switch off something, you represent this way. When you switch on something, you represent this way. So both are symbols of a switch. This is a symbol of a wire being joined, a node. Okay, so we have three wires being joined, right? So we have three wires being joined over there. So that I've shown it over here. See, at this point, we have three conducting parts being joined. So this is the first one, second one, and third one. So we have here three things being joined. So that we can represent with the help of this way. While at the other end, if we have two wires crossing each other, sometimes it happens. We have wires crossing each other because the circuit diagram is that complicated. But they are not connected. There's no connection between the wires. You need to represent this way. So example, I have over here a red wire and a white wire. They're not connected. Is it not? So all I can do is represent this way. And we have this and this. So this is how we can represent it. That there's no connection between them. This is a bulb that you guys know. This is something called as resistor. So what is a resistor? I'll be explaining that later. This is something called as variable resistor. Similar looking symbol with an arrow. Right? Variable resistor. This is something called as an ammeter. It's a meter, as you can tell. While this is called as an voltmeter. Again, it's a meter, as you can tell from the name. But here I represent plus and minus, plus and minus. And in cells and batteries, the longer line represents plus and the shorter line represents minus. So this is a plus and this is a minus. The overall battery's plus and minus is this. While other connections or wires and things like that, there's no plus or minus. Why is it so? Is it important that we need to write, or can we miss it? If we miss it writing over here, that's okay, because this line represents what is plus and what is minus. But how does it differ? Well, the connectivity, if they are reversed, your things will change. If you flip a battery, it won't work, that you have seen, right? So yes, it matters. Wherever they are plus and minus, it is related to the connectivity. It has to be connected that way. Things that don't have plus or minus, like this resistor, there's no plus or minus at the terminals, at the ends. So you can connect it anyhow. You flip it around, it won't change. The outcome won't change. So when the terminals are important, when we have to be sure that, okay, this is connected to that, this is connected to that, right? So we use another set of symbols to represent so. So that can't be missed out. That can't be not written. That should not be not written. So basically it has to be written. So you need to learn that ammeter has to have a plus and minus, voltmeter has to have a plus or minus, and the battery itself needs to have lengthier line and shorter line to indicate plus and minus. Okay, so they're not written, practically they're not written, but if you write also, that's not an issue. So you need to memorize all of this. It's quite simple. Okay,